Welcome back to Untitled Label, where we strive for greatness through optimization. In today's video, we're going to talk about compound interest. I made a short. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. I'm going to start doing YouTube shorts as a way to kind of get quicker information out there and just kind of keep more in touch with you guys on in between a weekly basis. Before we actually get into the video though, I want to take a second to say thank you for coming back if you're a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell, that way you're aware of every time I post a new video. And with that said, let's get into today's video. Compound interest is money that you earn on top of interest. Funny thing is, there's actually a mathematical formula for compound interest. So for any of you guys that are into math, this is going to be a great one for you guys. But in simpler terms, just think about this. If you have $100, you have an interest rate of 5% a year. At the end of the year, your $100 is going to go to $105. So you just earned $5 out of just doing nothing, investing, and just waiting for a long term. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this money actually make money? Well, in short term, it's actually kind of a loan. So various companies, for example, credit cards, they'll loan you money and you're paying them money for using their money that you don't have. It's a time thing. So taking into account time, that's how that works. The good thing is it can also work in reverse. You can lend companies money or invest in their company for the long term or even sometimes short term, and you can earn money on the money that you lent to them. Now, the rate of return or your interest rate can vary in many different ways, and that's going to be based on a number of factors. But going through, like if you're looking at stocks, for example, which you definitely should be if you're not considering investing in stocks. So the S&P 500, since its inception in 1957 to about last year, was 10.5%. So imagine that, 10.5% since its inception. Now, of course, take into account over that time period, there's been recessions and booms at the same time as well. However, with most of us living in American culture, wanting to retire in our 60s, that gives us a nice little chunk of change from the time we can actually start to work till we're able to retire to actually take advantage of what that 10% could be for us. Of course, your rate of return won't be the same as mine. However, the important thing is to constantly always be investing. The earlier you start, the more time you have to take advantage of compound interest. It's called dollar cost averaging. It's a system that lets you, no matter whether the market is up or down, you're still putting money into the market. Over time, that's going to get you that high return rate. In case your employer doesn't provide a 401k, which is probably your number one means to investing and taking advantage of compound interest, you can also open a individual brokerage account, a Roth preferably, since that's after tax dollars. You can open yourself a Roth and you can take advantage of those compound interest as well by investing, whether it be through individual stocks or index funds. I personally prefer index funds. My go-to is VOO and VTI. They're easy. You just buy those, and whenever it just kind of follows the market. So over time, VOO has yielded a market return of 14.12%, and VTI has yielded a market return of 10.5%. Now, of course, with those investment vehicles or index funds, of course, you're not going to be making as high as a percentage as you would with more riskier individual stocks. That's one thing to take into account. You limit your risk, but you also limit your return, which may not be a bad thing depending on your risk tolerance. For me, I'm investing for the long term. Therefore, I can take the 10.5% and the 14% because I know over time it's passive. I'm not really going to need that money for a long time. Keep in mind also that some of these funds, like index funds, for example, do have fees. Even the ones that you're getting through your employer 401k, those have fees as well. So you want to find what works best for you, one that has a very low fee, pretty good return rate over time, and has a pretty good risk tolerance. I hope you enjoyed learning about compound interest. If it's something that you never knew about before, especially when it comes to investing, I'm going to continue to make some more of these short videos regarding investing, taxes, stuff like that. Stuff that I know that might be beneficial to you as well. If you're new to this channel and you haven't hit that subscribe button, this is the end of the video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There's going to be a lot more coming out. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and share. Helps the channel grow. I always say this because it actually helps the channel grow. With that said, I'll catch you on the next one.